I don't get it. That's why I reached out to Trump. I wanted to just say, listen, I'm really sorry that this is going on and it's being dealt with this way. Not because I'm in favor of his politics or what he says. I criticize him all the time. That's my job, and he deserves it. But he doesn't deserve this. A guy pointing an AK-47 at him while he's playing golf? And we take solace in the fact that the guy didn't get any rounds off. If I had been through what that guy's been through in the last 2 months, you would not know where I am. You would never see me on TV again. No way I would do that. I don't know how he does it. He's got kids, they're adults, but he's got grandkids. He's got a wife. People giving crap to Melania Trump, worrying about whether or not there was a plot around his husband. How could she not? People mock her. And then her husband has a guy pointed with an AK-47. Where are those people apologizing? That's what it's time for. We are playing a dangerous game with ourselves. He is not a despot in waiting. Okay? I don't buy it.
Alrighty, guys, welcome back to it. Conservative Confucius back at it again. Let's get down to it. We are doing the Trump assassin and shooter information today. We've got all the facts. Like I said, I wanted to wait. I'm glad I did. There were things that people were saying that were either misconstrued or untrue, and I have made sure that I get the correct information on them. So let's get down to it and do it. Don't forget to go down there, smash the like button, hit that subscribe button, ring the bell for notifications, and don't forget to share this video if you guys like it. Alrighty, guys, I appreciate you coming down. Let's get down to it and do it. Sorry, my throat. There we go. All right, so this is from the opening video was from Libs of TikToks. Turns out Chris Cuomo is now getting red pilled. You know, he doesn't see the fake threats that they say Trump is causing, and literally their rhetoric is what causes this to happen, which we'll go over. Yeah, here, let's finish this up.
He is not a despot in waiting. Okay? I don't buy it. You gotta care when somebody tries to kill somebody. I've told you this before, and I've learned the lesson so many times myself around the world. Either you care when anyone is hurt, or you'll never really care about anyone being hurt.
Yeah, that was from the Ultra MAGA Party. That's what they posted this video, but or they made the video. But Libs of TikTok posted it. Don't forget, always go check her out. She's got great stuff. Let's get down to it and do it. All right, so we're going to go over the information. I have a lot of stuff brought up to go over all of that information. We're going to go over what I have verified and found. So we're going to go over some of the stuff. So here we go. The shooter's name is Ryan Routh. We have a picture for you. This is Ryan Routh. Ryan Routh, right there. Boom. And let's go through this. So lives and owns a very small house in Hawaii, has been arrested over 100 times. One of the arrests was for a weapons of mass destruction charge. By the way, if you even get charged with that, not commit, as long as there was enough evidence to prove that you had this, and the judge didn't see that there wasn't enough proof that he didn't get charged, they dropped the charges for no reason. There was no reason for them to drop the charges. He literally had what he did what he was charged of, and they dropped it anyways. Somehow this man supposedly had an AK-47, which we will get into. According to the photos I can see, this is not an AK-47. It doesn't have an AK-47 body style. It has an SKS body style, which is a semi-automatic weapon, which makes sense because there are a few people saying semi-automatic this, semi-automatic that, but then they said AK-47. I'm like, someone's either they don't know guns at all, or they're missing something. Like, there is no, mass-produced semi-automatic AK. There are AK style weapons that are in semi-automatic, but not, AK-47s, literally, not Kalashnikovs or even Chinese remakes. Sorry, I just ate. So according to this, he had not an AK-47, but he had a Russian SKS semi-automatic. Also, by the way, if he did have an AK-47, he would need a Class 3 firearms permit, which is nearly impossible to get unless you're former law enforcement, former military, or you've done so much training that you can get it. a lot of the gun YouTubers that have Class 3 firearms permits, the reason why they have it is because they're former military or they've gone through training like Brandon Herrera. So this man who had no known liquid assets, no large amounts of cash, no business endeavors, no large businesses. He had one small business that created tiny houses in Hawaii. The only house he ever sold was the house he owns. I mean, how do you start a business, make a house, say, hey, this is what we're doing, and then buy that house and then never make another house again? The Facebook page was up. Someone forgot, I think, to archive that. I can try to look into that later. But the business had less than 60 followers on there and only had people that were like, it was weird that 3 of them were CIA connected. It was insane, which we'll get into later with his Twitter followers too. Somehow he was able to travel constantly between Hawaii, DC, North Carolina, Ukraine, and other places, even including Pakistan and Afghanistan. Even with mental health issues, he was able to fight in the Ukrainian Foreign Legion. He was able to get weapons and all of these things, even though making constant threats online to political people. How does a man like this get private, highly secure access to a golf course that the golf course employees didn't even know that Trump was going to be there? Only a few small people did. And somehow, even though it wasn't publicized, it wasn't known, the employees didn't know, somehow this man knew and had access to the golf course that was being secured by private security of the golf course, which was up for that day after they found out Trump was coming. And Secret Service had made sure that would happen. Still, nothing publicized. No one in the none of the employees knew until he was already there, and he just started golfing. He'd only been down 5 holes. He was on the 5th hole when this happened. Somehow, this man had access to all of that. This man has no job. That's due to criminal charges, and yet somehow he can still get an SKS or any gun. He had an arsenal, supposedly. How is a man like him able to access information that wasn't even given to the, like I said, the employees out of safety? Only a Secret Service knew when and where he was going to be, and yet somehow, like I said, this happened. Secret Service did fire back at the shooter before he could open fire. Eventually, the shooter ran off and drove off. He was later apprehended. He did get within around 200 yards of Trump somehow, yet again. His socials were all secretly deleted, mainly by social media platforms themselves, which I guess is a common thing when you have any type of criminal incident, which I think is bullshit. Has photos with many government officials, mainly Democratic, and federal law enforcement, which is insane. Many people believe he is or was a federal asset. I mean, if you look at his, Ukrainian Foreign Service, he's right here in this photo. He's advertising for people to come and fight in the Ukrainian Foreign Legion. As you can see it right here in the photo, it says Foreign Legion requirements. Under age of 50, speaks English, blah, 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 blah. You have this type of gear and you can go. Boom. So just like Thomas Crooks, both have also heavy connections to BlackRock. Both were seen in BlackRock ads/videos. And he is openly a supporter of Azov, ASOV, which is the Ukrainian National Guard, which is they're neo-Nazis. Their symbol is a mix between the SS lightning bolt and the swastika. They preach white supremacy. I mean, this dude is a huge fan of them, openly said so in his tweets. And he fought alongside them and somehow never said, anything about how racist they are because he fights with them. So we're going to get down into the rest. Alrighty, let's get doing it. So as you can see here, this is from MJ Truth Ultra. Yeah, here's his name. He was just appeared in about to be filmed he just so happened to be filmed by Newsweek for his effort to Ukraine. Yeah, for fighting for mercenaries in the Ukrainian Foreign Legion. The New York Times wrote a profile on him back in 2023. They put out a new cover on 9/11 with a Trump in a golf cart with the caption, "In trouble? Did they know?" So let's see.
Tell me who you are and why are you here?
56 from the U.S. From North Carolina. originally, so I live in Hawaii now, so flew all the way from Hawaii here. So the question as far as why I'm here, to me, you know, a lot of the other conflicts are gray, but this conflict is definitely black and white. This is about good versus evil. This is...
So you're willing to fight back against Russia, but you support Palestine and say that Israel never existed and should have never existed. I'm confused. You think Putin is bad, but Putin supports Palestine. Why do you support a cause that Putin supports if you think this man is so evil, and it's so evil and so obvious that it's black and white?
This is a storybook, you know, any movie we've ever watched. This is definitely evil against good. I mean, we're battling a situation here where
you're fighting with Nazis.
Ukrainians and the rest of the world are caring and kind.
I don't support Putin. I don't support Ukraine. I don't support any of that because they're all corrupt. I support the Ukrainian people, just like I support Israel and I support the Palestinian people that fight back against their own corrupt, you know, peoples and governments and things like that. But I'm not going to sit here and make a statement on the Ukrainian war when, yes, bad things have happened, but Ukraine has also done horrible things. And so, I mean, that's just war. I mean, that's just a way of war. But I'm not going to criticize, you know, really either one for being worse than the other. I mean, I definitely say Russia is probably worse, but like that's Ukraine used to be on a higher level of corruption on the Universal World Corruption Index, and they were higher. They were higher than Russia, which is insane.
Kind and generous and unselfish and take care of one another, and it's just a matter of, you know, we need to stand up for that. That is the most important thing in the world, is just to show human beings that we're kind and we're caring and that we take care of one another and that the world is united so that we feed each other and make sure that, you know.
Except for you don't believe in these things. You're just talking points to make yourself look good. All right, let's move on from this dumb prick. All right, so here's the time cover. In trouble. Why would they post this? To me, it makes no sense. He wasn't in trouble in the polls. He didn't lose the debate. This is quite a bit after that, and somehow yet he's in trouble and he's in a golf. It makes no sense. Makes no sense. Let's see if there's anything more important. Trump released a statement saying there was gunshots in my vicinity, but before rumors start spiraling out of control, I wanted you to hear this from me first. I am safe and well. Nothing will slow me down. I will never surrender. I always love you for supporting me. Unity, peace, make America great again. God bless you. This is some of his Facebook stuff. This is some of the stuff I mentioned. So here's his Facebook talking about here. It says, soldiers, please do not call me. We are still trying to get in Ukraine to help accept Afghan soldiers. Why would you want Afghan people who are literally like marrying children to go to Ukraine? And here he says, I'm unclear what part of Israel the Jews owned based on this historic map. Number one, that's not a historic map. That's a modern map in modern color with modern lettering. That's not a historic map. You want to see a historic map, you will go back, let's say, go back to 1920. It'll say British Mandate of Palestine, not Students' Map of Palestine. And if you read that, it will say in there that Palestine was nothing more than a colonial name, just like everything else that happens in that area has been colonized to high heaven. So you can't sit here and say that. That's all bullshit. We're not going to get into that, though. More Ukrainian stuff, more stuff about Afghan soldiers and Pakistan and yeah. Here's the ad that shows what's his face?
Post of the action.
You think like, look, Azov right there, boom.
Is to appeal to what leaders? What organization? Post of the.
If you don't believe me that Azov, the Ukrainian battalion, is bad, let's look at it. There we go. Lightning bolts mixed with swastika. And we'll go into the extreme views of them. Where's the section where it's? Oh, don't tell me they removed the section about all the radical white supremacy crap. Oh, wait. Yeah, somewhere around here. Human rights violations. Here you go. Here's some of the stuff. Neo-Nazi allegations. Allegations, dude. It's open. Yep. See, they use the black sun, which is like the symbol in the background with a white, like weird looking puzzle kind of thing. That's called the black sun. It was originally, it wasn't nothing. It was just a symbol that happened to be found in a house that Himmler, not Hitler, Himmler, stole a house from a family, and they found that symbol on the floor. It was just a decoration or some type of Celtic symbol or maybe Germanic symbol, and it wasn't even a Jewish family. It was just a regular family, and they took the home. And he was like, "Oh, I love this symbol." They started using it all over like Nazi stuff. It was weird, really weird. But yeah, so you have that. You have the swastika mixed with the lightning bolts. Yeah, SS runes and other things. Yeah. They love talking about neo-Nazi stuff. But yeah, saying that there should only be certain religions and other things. It's like this goes on and on and on and on. Like, yeah, connections to anti-Semitism. It's funny how people say, "Oh, Ukraine, Jews," because the guy who runs the country is a Jew. He's not a Jew. He's never practiced Judaism. Just because his granddad died in the Holocaust doesn't mean he's a Jew. According to Jewish law, he's not a Jew at all. Your mother must be a Jew for you to be a Jew. Otherwise, you're not a Jew at all. Like not 1%, not 5%, not 50%, 0% Jewish if your mother was not a Jew. You can go through a conversion and become religiously a Jew, but you'll never be ethnically a Jew. And that's the thing. Like he's not a Jew. That's why he was raised by people who in a community that hates Jews. And it's not a surprise. I mean, literally, he arrested all of not only the religious leaders in the Christian community, but he arrested the rabbis. Mainly, it started off with rabbis, then it went to pastors and priests, mainly because the rabbis were the first to speak against the war and say how we need to stand back and let our country fight, but we need to make sure we're on the right side of history and stand with people who don't want to kill us. And there was such a widespread white supremacy in the army. They said we shouldn't fight for people who will try to kill us if they're standing next to us, and that was how it was. And they said, "Nope, I'm arresting you." And that's just how it is. Ukraine is so corrupt. Yeah. And this guy loves Ukraine. I mean, here's the gun I was talking about. As you can see right here, this is not an AK-47. Doesn't have an AK-47 style body. Yeah. And this is what it is. It's an SKS, a Russian SKS. Not even on the AK platform. Here's a picture of the dude talking about having 2 black coffees and 3 cigarettes for breakfast. And that's his breakfast, basically, is what he's saying. And does this look like a Republican like everyone's telling you he is? Because to me, that looks like a very, very, very far left guy who has pictures of paintings on his thing that says, I don't even know what that says, actually. Ridiculous stuff, though. That's not a right-wing Republican. Here's more stuff from, I think it's criminal charges. Yeah. Yeah. Ryan Routh committed 3 crimes here. One of them to possessing stolen goods, misdemeanor. Possessing stolen goods, possessing stolen goods, possessing stolen goods. 3 of those. Oh, here's even more. License revoked, misconduct, miscellaneous motor vehicle violation, concealed carry weapon, misdemeanor, hit and run, concealed carry again, revoked driver's license, resisting an officer, more. Jeez, dude, how many freaking driving license revoked, miscellaneous vehicle violation, driving license revoked again, dude, every freaking time. Other misdemeanor or misdemeanment. Never seen that word before. Yeah, possession of weapons of mass destruction. That's insane. That's a class F felony. It's like I think it's the worst. Meaning he had possession of either a nuclear, radiological, chemical, biological, or other device that has intended to harm a large number of people and can cause mass destruction. So Yeah. And sorry, he was fully convicted of that in 2002, not dropped. I was misheard. Glad I went through this. Wow. That is insane. He also voted in North Carolina, even though he doesn't live there. He's born there, but he doesn't live there. He voted there in 2024 in the primary, in 2012 in the primary, in 2009 in the primary, in 2009, 2008 in the general. And he does this, and he voted. What was that? What does that say? Does that say Republican? Let me just take my glasses off, get real close. That says Democrat. Oh, look, not employed, not employed, not employed, not employed, not employed, over year after year. Well, really, check after check. But somehow, a man who has no employ is able to donate $5, $1, $10, $5 to Act Blue. What is Act Blue? Do you guys remember? The same organization that is now being investigated for mass levels of money laundering and fraud. The same organization that's a far left progressive PAC, super PAC. How is it that a man who somehow registered as a Republican, it's the same bullshit with Thomas Crook. He was only registered recently as a Republican. Like you go back and look at his voting record, it's all lies. Look, more of these donations, even more. Like it's all bullshit.
Officials in Kyiv simply.
Yeah, here's some more stuff on, what's like his Ukraine stuff, and then helped Afghan soldiers who fled from the Taliban or fled the Taliban, and helped them get to fake passports into Pakistan, which is all illegal.
Aren't interested in recruiting them.
Ukraine is reluctant to be cooperative.
That's Ryan Routh, a U.S. citizen who set up the International Volunteer Center in Ukraine to help connect foreigners to Ukrainian military units.
Now I'm talking to over 100 soldiers every day, and pretty much everybody, all of my contacts in Ukraine, they were adamant and pretty much yelled at me every time that I suggested that we bring in Afghans.
The Ukrainian government didn't respond to our
people.
request for comment, but a source close to the officials in Kyiv told Semaphore that their top concern is the question of loyalty in the thick fog of war.
The biggest thing is spies. They're afraid that anybody and everybody is a Russian spy.
Those concerns aren't completely unfounded.
Yeah, this dude is an idiot. He has no knowledge. He's not a veteran. He has no knowledge of war, no knowledge of maybe he is a CIA operative. Maybe he is all that. Who knows? But we don't know. And if he is, then he has the knowledge that this isn't safe. But if he isn't, then he's just a dumb citizen trying to play soldier in a position, in a place he has no duty or right or, there's no common sense in him being there. It's all of ego and just an obsession to just be something he wasn't able to be because of mental health and other things that he couldn't join the military. Yeah, here's more of his online files. I opened up. I thought I'll open them up in a different window. I thought, whatever. Yeah, here, a whole bunch of his. If you guys want to view his social media, we would go through more of it. It's pretty astonishing. There's all of his tweets are saved. Yeah, talking about Ukraine war, Ukraine. But yeah, almost all of his tweets are saved and archived right here at archive.org. I will leave the link to this in the description of the video. I will make sure I do that. I'm gonna duplicate this right now and put it aside so I do not close this for you guys. There you go. That will be in the link to the description of the video. You guys can go view his texts or his tweets and everything like that. But yeah, here is his house. As you can see, this is a little tiny house that he built. And yeah. Oh, look, it's blue. Should we get into that? I don't know. What are the chances that this house is the exact shade of blue that was like all the other Hawaii houses didn't get burned down? He's not in the right city for that. But let's just say, like, why is his house blue? He has connections to the government, to the military. Does he know something that other people don't? Like, it's crazy. So look at this. What does that say right there? What does that say? What does that say? Biden, Harris. Oh, I thought he was a Republican. Yeah, here's him in an old JD video.
Well, the Ukrainians have a right to fight back.
I don't do paper though.
I don't care if you do paper or not. I'm looking for revolutionaries. I'm looking for people who want to take this whole system down.
Bro, I'm a
What? What? That's a far leftist to me. And he's not talking about Ukraine or Russia. He says, I want people who are willing to take this system down, this system, America. That's a far leftist.
I'm looking for revolutionaries.
Yeah, we don't ask for revolutionaries. We ask for people who are willing to stand up for the rights and the values of this country. A revolutionary is on the exact opposite. They want new values to come in. That's why it's revolutionary. We're more just constitutional advocates, like
I'm looking for people who want to take
constitutional activists. Maybe it's a better word.
this whole system down.
Bro, I'm a veteran. Like, do you need me?
What kind of veteran are you?
Bro, I served in Nuketown.
Well, I think it's better to serve and fight in the powers.
See, now he's insulting a military veteran. For what? For what? He's insulting a veteran because he doesn't like that he served.
Fucking over the system.
Bro, give me a Glock.
So now he's saying, oh, I want to fuck the system over. This guy is a far leftist. Easily the biggest far leftist like I've seen in a while, honestly, saying that you don't respect military veterans. You think they should fight back against their own country. You think you should do this, you should do that. Like these are all far leftist, far leftist talking points.
And a Hellcat.
Take a look at this.
Bro, but I don't do paper though. I just told you
Come on,
that.
dude, then get away. We don't need people who aren't serious. If you're not
I'm
serious,
serious, but I don't do paper, bro. You're literally killing the environment.
we're moving on. You go ahead, have your lunch.
No, bro, I'm going to class.
Go to
I'm a
class,
scholar.
then. Go to class.
What an idiot. Here's more of his tweets, just so you guys know, so you can read them in the tweet, like, you know, so it looks like they're from Twitter. This person went on and did as much as possible. That's not all of them, but it's a lot. This is from Anonymous on Twitter. Just Anonymous. It's got a blue check mark, so you guys make sure you know it's the right one. But yeah, you can go and click on these and view them. The big one is harder to read, but if you click on these individually and open them up, they do come out clear and easier. Here, we'll read a couple. We desperately need to increase our support for the war in Ukraine. Saddened to not have an English song. I don't know what the lyrics for "We Are One" and we need your help producing it. Produce music for Ukraine. I don't understand this, dude. Saying that, talking about Hawaii tribute for Ukraine. Now he's saying vote for Vivek so Donald Trump can get out of, so Donald Trump's not the person in office, even though he doesn't like him. Talks about Nikki Haley, even though he is a Biden fan because of his truck and his voting record. Talking about China and Taiwan. He was actually saying he wanted to go fight for the Taiwan Foreign Legion here. But yeah. So Ryan Routh, named the shooter by Fox News, vowed to fight to the death for Bernie Sanders. Yeah, we'll watch this real quick.
Okay.
You and Biden should visit the injured people in the hospital from the Trump rally and attend the funeral of the murdered. Trump would never do anything like that. Oh, well, he did do that. Sorry. You should visit. Yeah, same thing. We are trying to save Haku Stairs. Bruno, help me with. I don't know what the hell that is. We must remove Rick from office. Who is that? Rick who? Belengiardi. They cannot convict Hunter Biden as the question of on the application has no time frame. Actually, they can convict him because he was an addict during the time that he bought the gun. And the reason that was proven was because he was posting videos with that gun even while using drugs. And it doesn't matter if he bought the gun and then became an addict. If you become an addict and own guns, you have to give up your guns while you're addicted, or you have to sell them to someone while you're addicted, and then you can buy them back once you've gone through treatment. But during an addiction, you have to sign the paper correctly. And if you go into one and you already had one previous to that, then you have to give up the gun until you are sober. And it's not really this, no one really knows how long, but I mean, like it's said that you have to be sober. Talking about NATO training Afghan soldiers, like why would we do that? More support for Ukraine and talking about stuff in Hawaii and Ukraine and tribute. Yeah, some of the stuff I already read. This dude is insane. I was not supporting Bernie, but now I am, as Sleepy Joe stands for nothing, no plans, no ideas, just as limp as Hillary. Bernie, give them hell, fight to the death. Yeah. I mean, this is the man. He looks like an insane person. Dude, it's crazy. It's so crazy. Alrighty, guys. I think that's going to be it for this one. Do not forget to go down there and smash that like button, hit that subscribe button, ring the bell for notifications. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, though. It really helps us, guys. We just hit 5,000, by the way. We hit 5,000. Thank you. We are now monetized. I appreciate it, guys. Don't forget, though, it really helps when you guys keep going. Make sure you hit that like button. Leave a comment down below, guys, please. And come check us out for future videos. Alrighty, guys. We'll catch you in the next one. Have a good one.